Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. So there's a large conversation happening on the internet, specifically on X right now, about paying dues as professional wrestlers. Now, as a former professional wrestler myself, I understand this very, very well. So what does paying dues mean? Well, it's self-explanatory really, but it's about as you're on the come up as a professional wrestler or trying to gain a spot or get booked on a show or whatever the case might be, you show up and you help out. You make the long drives, you set up the chairs, you set up the ring, you pull the ring down when it's done. You kind of do anything you can to help make the show run smooth, because on the independent level, like outside of like TNA and AEW and WWE and kind of these bigger shows where they have a ring crew, most of the independent professional wrestling shows that you go to don't have a ring crew. Everything is done by a wrestler. And so that's about paying your dues. And so if you want to get on that show or get booked or get seen, you might want to show up and help out. You drive to the show, you get in the car with someone who's on the show and you introduce yourself and you shake hands, and you do all these types of things really to create relationships so people see you, they see that you care and that you're helping out and you're being helpful. This is about paying dues. Now, I think is extremely important in one hand to pay dues. If the show that you're booked on doesn't have a ring crew, well then the wrestlers become the ring crew, right? When I was in WXW in Germany, all the wrestlers put together the ring, all the wrestlers took down the ring. We did it in a process. It was very, very, very together, and we all knew what job we were doing, and we did it. We got done. The show was over. We did it. We got it done. That was it. It was just an expectation that the wrestlers were going to help set up. Now, the conversation about paying dues on the internet really came to a head when Avery Styles, the son of massive WWE star and absolutely one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, AJ Styles' son. So Avery Styles gets booked on this show called GCW, and he is seen like, I don't know, not helping set up the chairs and not doing any of the stuff that paying dues does. And he's very, very young in his career. He's about 4 or 5 matches into his career. And most of the time, those are the types of wrestlers that are set to pay dues. And so the conversation went on the internet saying he should pay dues, he shouldn't pay dues. Why is he give a pass? Because he's AJ Styles' son, yada, 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 yada. There's always going to be special treatment for the sons of very famous people. That is what it is. He has those advantages. He also has a ton of disadvantages. Eyes are on him. Pressure's heavier, right? There are certain things that he is going to deal with that others won't deal with in a good and bad way. And so, yeah, maybe should he pay dues? I don't know. Like his dad, AJ Styles, paid dues for a very, very, very long time until he became the king of TNA, and then until he moved to WWE and had an absolutely magnificent 10-year career in WWE. Should he do certain things to help out? Yes. Should he go hide backstage? Absolutely not. That's embarrassing behavior. But should he be reprimanded for not paying dues? Absolutely not. If you get paid to be on a show and there's a ring crew, what are you paying dues? What do you help setting up for? You get paid to be on the show, so you're a paid wrestler. They have a ring crew. They have students. Okay, then there you go. It's all set up. Now, if things are chaotic and nothing is set up and everything is a mess and you're in the locker room hiding back, not wanting to do anything, no, go offer a helping hand. That's not paying dues. That's just being a kind, respectful human being in the world. And so there's always going to be a little bit of nepotism in professional wrestling. We see the sons of wrestlers get handouts all the time. And then the paying dues conversation also has to do with someone like Logan Paul. Logan Paul didn't pay any fucking dues, didn't do any independent professional wrestling, didn't set up any chairs. He's a megastar. So he got signed by WWE after he learned how to wrestle. People are pissed about that. Well, Logan Paul didn't have to pay any dues. Of course he didn't. He became one of the most famous people on the planet. That's how he paid his dues. YouTube videos and social media and getting 0 views and building himself up so he became a superstar, and now he can do whatever he wants. There's always going to be instances where this is the case. Now, I don't think celebrities should always just earn a spot in WWE because they're a celebrity. I still think there has to be an honoring of the craft. That could be paying dues, an honoring of the craft. Logan Paul certainly honors the craft now, but we've seen way too many celebrities just kind of come in, shit on the product, use it as a stepping stone, and then leave. I think there's a certain idea there that has to be respected. Now you look at people like CM Punk and Kevin Owens who talk about being on the indies and grinding it out. Those guys paid their dues. Now I don't know what they think about Avery Styles or any of the sons of famous wrestlers who kind of get handouts but also have more pressure on them. There's always going to be a give and take. But if you're a young wrestler who has nothing, like no relationships, you don't know anyone, you just want to be a great professional wrestler, you're going to have to pay your dues. And it's going to be harder for you than these other guys. You're going to have to pay your dues simply because paying dues is a pathway to creating relationships. You show up, you shake hands, you introduce yourself, you be kind, you be respectful, you help out, you ask questions. This is a pathway to building relationships, and relationships are ultimately what get you ahead in the professional wrestling business because someone has to book you on the show, someone has to scout you, someone has to put you in the, get you a tryout, whatever the case may be. Relationships are everything. I've seen relationships get people jobs at major companies more than their wrestling ability. And so maybe the paying dues conversation needs to expand its definition. Maybe you're not specifically putting up chairs or, pulling down the ring, but I think people should learn that. I think you should learn how to put up a ring. What's inside the ring? How do you construct the ring? Because you're going to do your life's work in that ring. You should know how it's built. You should know how to do production in the back and where the cameras are and how that works in terms of running a show. You should also learn how to run a show. And so you know what it takes to put on a show. So you have a better understanding of the whole product. I think you should be setting up chairs and understanding why you set up the chairs the way they do and why the ring is set up the way it is. All these things, yes, are part of paying dues, but they're also part of understanding the totality of being a wrestler and what it means to be a wrestler and how to be the best version of yourself, because you can only be a great professional wrestler if you have if you are brilliant at the basics. You have to be brilliant at the fundamentals. And I think people miss that. And part of the fundamentals is understanding aspects that other people just ignore because they think they aren't important. And there's always going to be nepotism. There's always going to be celebrities who get bookings before you. Things are never going to be fair, especially not in professional wrestling. But if you want to get ahead, your best possible chance is to build great relationships with every single person you meet. And that is the sort of the undertone of paying dues, of driving to shows you're not on, of helping out here, of doing this here, of attending this training session or this seminar. You just build more relationships, and then people start to see your face everywhere, and they're like, oh, this guy really wants it. And then you get on a show and then you crush the match. And then it kind of snowballs and snowballs from there. And you have to keep expanding and keep growing and keep being brilliant at the basics. It may take longer than you want, longer than someone who just gets handout after handout after handout. Great, fuck them, so what? Continue on the grind. And so the paying dues conversation is more of a larger, nuanced conversation, not just you should do it, you have to do it. No, we have to expand it and actually tell wrestlers what it means and tell fans what it actually means to pay dues and how it helps you inside of the business of professional wrestling. So that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.